have a chance. Richarlison cuts it back. Oh, what a goal! First up! It's just the 5th minute.
Still Lewandowski. Still Doski. Finds Dembele, and Dembele scores an equaliser. What a pass from Lewandowski. He has been the best player. He has actually got 2 assists. One of Gavi's goal and now Dembele's goal.
And City wins! City won the match. Manchester City won the match.
Hello everybody, this is Brisbane 05 Blast here and welcome back to another video of this channel. In this last episode we did Liverpool versus Newcastle United, and Newcastle United won 2 goals and they actually defeated Liverpool at Anfield, and they got revenge for what Liverpool did to them the past few years. But now in today's episode we're actually going to do Chelsea versus Stuttgart. And you may be wondering, is it going to be a friendly match? No, it's actually going to be a cup, Winners' Cup. The actual active tournament. It was actually one of the 3rd best UEFA tournaments before it got defuncted, obviously, in 1999. But it was one of the 3rd best UEFA tournaments. And Chelsea and Stuttgart actually reached the finals. And they might be actually versing each other. But it's actually going to be taking place at Stockholm in Sweden. So yeah. And the match is probably going to be taking place... It's going to be happening after the end of the season, so you might have to wait. So, yeah, I mean, you might have to wait for the actual match because we don't know when it's coming. So, yeah, you might have to be patient about that because I cannot keep on asking questions about my favorite channel about it, because you have to be patient because we have to wait for the main ones to finish and then we can focus on the cup competitions. But anyway, let's just actually take a look at these 2 teams on their road to the final. So, let's get there, shall we?
Alright guys, we're here to see these 2 teams road to the finals. So as you already saw, VFB Stuttgart's opponent was up against an Icelandic club named of IBV. So they're one of the top best Icelandic club here, and they actually won the game 5-2 on aggregate. So let's actually go to the, let's see if this match is shown. So yeah, there it is. So Stuttgart actually played against this club, IBV, and they actually got their job done, beating them 3-1 thanks to a brace from Bobic and a goal from Akpobori. Even though Olafsson actually got 1 goal back for IBV, it wasn't enough for them to catch up with Stuttgart. Stuttgart piled on an insurance goal. And yeah. And now let's take a look at the second leg for these 2 teams. Yeah. So Stuttgart actually bet them 2-1. Akpobori actually defeated them. I mean, he scored a brace, even though Larsson scored the goal, which was also their 2nd goal on aggregate. So, yeah. But still, like I said, it wasn't enough. And Stuttgart moved on to the 2nd round. So, Chelsea, obviously, they've already moved on. But we're not going to talk about them yet. We're going to talk about Stuttgart. Stuttgart, in their 2nd round, they managed to verse Germinal Ekeren, which is also which is actually a Belgian club. And it was actually a pretty tough game. So in the first leg, VFB Stuttgart got their job done over Germinal Ekeren in the first leg. It was actually taking place in Ekeren in Belgium. So yeah. Bobic scored a brace and Akpobori also scored a brace, which actually meant that Stuttgart beat them 4-0. They slapped them 4-0. However, in the second leg, Germinal Ekeren actually were one of the teams that almost pulled up a great upset. Even though Verlat and Poschner scored 2 goals, Germinal Ekeren almost had a comeback. It was actually 6-0 on aggregate, but Germinal Ekeren didn't give up, with Van Ankeren scoring the opening goal for them. Then Van Genu then scored the 2nd goal in just 2 minutes. Then Karagiannis scored the 3rd goal, which meant that Germinal Ekeren actually took the lead in normal time. And Van Ankeren scored the brace. But it wasn't enough. Even though Germinal Ekeren almost pulled off a great upset and a great comeback against Stuttgart, it wasn't enough, as Stuttgart managed to move on to the quarterfinals, in which they had to verse Slavia Prague, probably Stuttgart's decent opponent. And yeah, it was probably I would say it was balanced in the first leg. It was taking place in Prague, wherein which Vacha scored the opening goal, and which actually kept Slavia Prague probably having a 1-0 lead at halftime. However, Pochner scored the equalizing goal in the second half, which actually meant that they have to play and decide in the second leg, which has taken place in Stuttgart, obviously, where Balokov actually scored a brace. He actually came clutch and scored a brace, which meant that Slavia Prague have to go back home, and which meant that Stuttgart dreamt further as they're going to be playing in a semi-final match where they're up against Lokomotiv Moscow. So, yeah, it was pretty tough, but VFB Stuttgart, they were one of the best teams, kept their noses in front, even though Yanashi actually scored the opening goal, but sadly it was too little too late for Lokomotiv Moscow to dream, as Akpobori and Bobic kept Stuttgart in front at the end of the first leg, and in the second leg there was one goal from Bobic, and that means Stuttgart were in the finals. Forget about the main final. Yep, Chelsea did win the actual finals of the Cup Winners' Cup final, but we're actually rewriting history. So yes, Chelsea are the winners in this match, but we're not going to spoil it because Travis Sports are actually going to be rewriting the history. My favorite channel. So they're actually going to be rewriting the history. So yeah, don't worry about that. So anyway, so now we already talked about Stuttgart's road to the final. They've had pretty easy opponents, plus their two decent opponents, which had the likes of Slavia Prague and Lokomotiv Moscow. But now let's take a look at Chelsea's run to the final. So Chelsea's first opponent was up against Slovan Bratislava, where they actually bet them 4-0 after 2 legs. So in their first leg, Di Matteo scored the opening goal, and Daniel Patrick Granville scored the second goal for Chelsea, and that's how Chelsea managed to maintain that 2-0 lead at the end of the first leg of the first round. However, Chelsea did manage to regain it thanks to a goal from Vialli and Di Matteo. And that means Chelsea have eliminated Slovan Bratislava from the competition and will be moving forward to take on Tromsø, which is actually a Norwegian club. In which Tromsø actually had the perfect start to the campaign, in which at their own home ground, Nilsson scored the opening goal, Firminen scored the second goal for Tromsø, and they were leading. They were leading 2-0 at halftime. However, Vialli scored a brace, 85th and 90th minute. Even though Ars did actually kept Tromsø in front and they were leading at the end of the first leg, Chelsea were on fire at the second leg of the competition. Yes, they actually destroyed them 7-1 at Stamford Bridge, with Petrescu scoring a brace, Gianluca Vialli scoring a hat-trick, Zola scoring a singular goal, and Frank Labou scoring the penalty goal. Even though Johansson did score the only goal of this game for Tromsø, it wasn't enough, as Chelsea did actually have a massacre on them, winning the game 9-4 on aggregate over Tromsø, which got them to quarterfinals, in which they had to take on Real Betis, one of a decent club, one of the best club I would say for Spain. Let's go to quarterfinal, first leg, yep. In which Chelsea did manage to get their noses in front thanks to a brace from Tore Andre Flo, a Norwegian player. He actually gave Chelsea the lead and also led at halftime. But Real Betis' player Alfonso did score the opening goal, and probably the only goal of this game, which meant that Chelsea had a 2-1 lead after first leg, and they had to carry that at Stamford Bridge, in which Chelsea did manage to win this game 3-1, thanks to a goal from Sinclair, Di Matteo, and Zola. Even though Finidi scored the only goal for Real Betis, like I said, Chelsea did manage to get the jobs done over Real Betis. However, Chelsea's next opponent was up against Vicenza, in which Vicenza somehow actually managed to pull up a great upset, and they made it this far, in which Zauli scored the only goal of the first leg of the semi-final, in which they were trailing at Stamford Bridge. They had to carry that at Stamford Bridge, and who knows that Chelsea would have the opportunity to come back, which they did, thanks to a goal from Gustavo Poyet, Zola, and the former Manchester United player Mark Hughes. Even though Vicenza did actually score the opening goal. Luiso scored the opening goal, but Chelsea actually did Vicenza did bottle the 2-0 lead with Poyet scoring the goal, Zola actually scoring the equalizing goal, and Mark Hughes scoring the match-winning goal, which means that Chelsea and Stuttgart are now in the finals. Before we wrap up, we're going to talk about and see who's going to win the finals. So who's going to be... Just put on some predictions and see who's going to win the finals. And ignore the 1-0 score. We're not going to talk about this. We all know Chelsea will win in the predictions. It's kind of obvious because they're the favorites. But this happened in real life in 13 May 1998. But like I said, it's going to be taking place in... Trevor Sports is going to rewrite this one. So that means this 1-0 scoreline never actually happened. So anyway, I really hope you enjoyed this one. And let's just get to the final one. Let's just get to our final speech.
And there you have it, folks. We've already taken a look at the road to the finals. Chelsea and Stuttgart both deserved and are now playing in the finals, which is taking place in Stockholm. And like I said, don't worry about the real-life scoreline. Chelsea did win that in real life, but can they actually repeat it like they did it in like they originally did it in real life? Can they repeat it, or will Stuttgart have other plans and maybe try to rewrite history in the Cup Winners' Cup? We're just gonna find out, because I'm not the one to decide. It's FC24 that will decide who will win the Cup Winners' Cup. But anyway, I really hope you enjoyed this one. Please make sure to like and subscribe. And without further ado, let's get to Stockholm. Or should I say in Germany, because that's where the actual match is taking place in, because there is no Stockholm Stadium in FC24. So yeah, let's go to Germany, where we will see Chelsea taking on Stuttgart. So yeah, I really hope you enjoyed this one. And yeah, enjoy the match. Alright guys, we're here to see Chelsea versus VFB Stuttgart. It's actually a Cup Winners' Cup final prediction, and we're just going to see who's going to win this match. So Chelsea are one of the finalists in the Cup Winners' Cup final. They've actually made this far, once we actually took a look at their road to the finals. And same thing with Stuttgart as well. So both these teams have reasonable matches that they've versed, and they've actually defeated those opponents and have reached this far. But yeah, I really cannot wait to see how things will be going from here, because this is actually a wonderful stadium to play in. It's a stadium in Fürth. It's like a Bavarian stadium, I would say. But anyway, let's take a look at Chelsea's starting 11. We have Nicolas Jackson, Christopher Nkunku. Mauricio Pochettino is the coach. But we have like Enzo Fernandez, Ben Chilwell, Levi Colwill, Thiago Silva, Reece James, Kepa as the keeper. And obviously Nicolas Jackson, the player to start for Chelsea, the main man for Chelsea, I would say. But then we get to Stuttgart's starting 11. Well, technically, yeah, let's take a look at Stuttgart's starting 11. They have Wataru Endo and Sergio Guirassy, the two talented players here for VFB Stuttgart, because in real life, Endo plays for Liverpool and Guirassy plays for Borussia Dortmund. But yeah, these two players might actually create a bit of impact in this team. And fun fact, this was actually the replacement stadium. I'll tell you why, because when I actually took a look at the actual stadium in real life, it is actually in Stockholm, which is in Sweden. But sadly, FC24 does not have the rights to have any stadium in Stockholm, so this is the best we can come up with, which is a stadium in Bavaria in Germany or so. So anyway, looks like Chelsea will be starting first. Nicolas Jackson has it. He finds Raheem Sterling. Sterling finds Nkunku. Nkunku finds Enzo Fernandez. Chelsea are really the favourites here to win this match. But then again, we have Stuttgart, who are basically the underdogs in this competition. And many people say we always like the underdogs in this competition, because they can somehow manage to upset the favourites. But anyway, Thiago Silva has it. He actually back passes it to Kepa for safety. Kepa finds Enzo Fernandez, his trusted player. Fernandez finds Gallagher. Gallagher finds Sterling. And yeah, the player to watch is Christopher Nkunku. Obviously played in the Bundesliga before, so has a bit of experience in taking on German teams.
But anyway, Chelsea lose a bit of possession there, and now it's Stuttgart with it. So the Cup Winners' Cup final, I would tell you once we get to halftime here. So I'll explain it to you when we get to halftime. I already know that it's a defunct competition right now. It defuncted in 1999, so... And you may be wondering, why am I actually doing a prediction for this even though it's already defunct? I'll tell you whole details after the first half is concluded. But anyway, looks like Chelsea's on the attack, but they actually just gave that possession away. And now here's Anton. He also made a move to Borussia Dortmund alongside with Sergio Girassi. But anyway, still Anton. Anton passes it to Mavropanos. Mavropanos finds Carazo. Carazo finds Sergio Girassi. Girassi with a pass to find Miller, but Colwill with a good interception. And now here's Christopher Nkunku. Still Nkunku. But what a tackle from Wataru Endo. But it's still with Chelsea. But anyway, Stuttgart gets this one away. Now here's Anton. Anton finds Girassi. Girassi drives the pass to Milot. Milot finds Wagnerman. Still Wagnerman. Wagnerman crosses it. Finds Furyk. Furyk shoots. But sadly just goes off target. Stuttgart were on the mix. They were on the attack. But Furyk just had to mess the timing. That could have been a reasonable chance that Stuttgart might have had, but couldn't reach the target. Kepa let that one go because he knew that it was not actually reaching him. It looks like it's a goal kick here for Chelsea. Kepa is actually going to go short. He finds Silva. So both these sides are really eyeing for a silverware. Obviously, we had the Carabao Cup, which in real life, that means in Trevor Sports or in the retro universe, if I would say that way, Liverpool have actually defeated Chelsea in the Coca-Cola Cup. So Chelsea are really looking for redemption here in this competition because they really wanted to have some silverware before they end their season. They're currently in third place right now, but probably the outside shouts in fighting for the title. But yeah, I mean, I don't think it's probably a chance for Chelsea to catch up though. So this might be literally their only chance to get silverware, and that is the Cup Winners' Cup. So can Chelsea do it? Anyway, looks like Sterling has the answer right here. He drives the pass to Nkunku. Christopher Nkunku on the attack. Tries to find a cutback pass, but what a block from Ito. But it's still with Chelsea. But Wagnerman tackles him. He finds Girassi. Girassi with a wonderful pass to Miller. Miller finds Girassi, but what a tackle from Levi Colwill. Colwill finds Chilwell. Chilwell finds Nkunku. Christopher Nkunku finds Raheem Sterling. Still Sterling. Still Raheem Sterling. Tries to make a run here. Sterling shoots, but what a save from Nubel. That was a probably good chance that Chelsea had. But what a save from Nubel though. A terrific save from him. And it goes off for a Chelsea corner. Looks like everyone is scrambling in the box, hoping for a good delivery. And the trusted player to do is Ben Chilwell, but there is a player in support. And it's Christopher Nkunku. Nkunku has it. But what a block from Ito. It was a bad pass from Nkunku, and now Stuttgart, who are already on defense, are trying to find their way into the opposition zone. Now here's Wagnerman. Wagnerman finds Milo. Back to Wagnerman. Looks like we're already in 1 minute of added time. Stuttgart are already on the attack. It's Girassi with it. Tries to cut the pass. He actually crosses it, but no one was there to support. But anyway, it's still with Stuttgart, but Chelsea get this one away. And luckily, they did give away possession, but referee was in their side as it's half-time, with both these sides yet to even create a chance. And as you already saw, Christopher Nkunku had a slow day at the office. Tried to make some reasonable chances, but just couldn't find a bit of answer here. And he knows it. But anyway, it's half-time. Chelsea 0, Stuttgart 0. And we're actually going to take a look at the highlights here. With both these sides having reasonable chances. But Just not the goals. Obviously a chance for Stuttgart, but Kepa let that one go wide. And then a proper chance from Raheem Sterling. But what a save from Nubel. He had to dive actually to save that. But as you already saw, both these sides had one shot. So let's take a look at the shooting and see how it was reasonable here. So Chelsea had one shot on target. So their shot accuracy was 100%. However, VFB Stuttgart had their shot, but obviously that shot was miles away, blasted wide. And obviously the passing, Chelsea had completed a lot of passes than their opponent Stuttgart. I mean, just look at the rotation here. I mean, just if you take a look at this passing accuracy here, you could see that the pass accuracy is 82%. But however, on Stuttgart's pass accuracy, yes, they have completed a low passes, short passes, but just look at the pass accuracy here. 85% of pass accuracy, and probably one of them might have been that chance which Stuttgart would have created, but fumbled. But anyway, looks like now it's already halftime. I'll tell you why we're doing the Cup Winners' Cup prediction. Well, the reason why is because in the Retro Universe, the Cup Winners' Cup final is already in place. Chelsea and Stuttgart, both the two finalists in that competition. So, in next year, it will be probably the last time we'll be ever doing Cup Winners' Cup before it becomes defunct. But yeah, I guess I really hope you know what I'm saying, because this was my layman language that I'm trying to explain it to you. But anyway, let's take a look at let's go to second half already, as Stuttgart will be the one to start the kickoff. And now they're actually thinking of some reinforcements here. Now anyway, here's Girassi. Still Girassi. Girassi drives the pass to Wagnerman. Wagnerman crosses it, but what a block from Silva. He intercepted that. He finds Jackson. Now here's Christopher Nkunku with it. Nkunku finds Jackson, who's already away though. No one to mark him. Could this be an opportunity that Chelsea needed? Nope, he fumbled it. But what a run from Jackson though. But it was a good defense here from Stuttgart. Put a bit of pressure on Jackson. That's how he fumbled it. And it's going to be a goal kick here for Stuttgart. So basically both these sides have been creating opportunities. Even though it's basically a bore fest, only both of them have created just one shot each, and are yet to actually make a reasonable chance. But Chelsea definitely had a reasonable opportunity. Obviously that Raheem Sterling shot got saved by Nubel. And obviously the offside flag, which for some reason it's not been shown. It's a bit weird actually. But yeah, I think they have been given for an offside. So I don't know how it was not shown on screen. But anyway, looks like Chelsea have the possession here. Now here's Gallagher, but Girassi with a good interception. Girassi finds Furyk. Still Furyk. Furyk finds Milot. Still Miller. But Gallagher with a good tackle. Now Gallagher finds Sterling. Sterling finds Nkunku. Chelsea are yet to create an opportunity. They're already on the attack. Jackson is away. No one to mark him. But what a save from Nubel. But what a chance Chelsea had. What a shot from Nicholas Jackson. But you got to credit that wonderful save from Nubel. He had to dive that. Stuttgart basically the underdogs, but they're showing why they're capable and why they made it this far. With a bit of goalkeeping brilliance here from Nubel. And now Chelsea have a corner. Ben Chilwell finds Nkunku. Or Sterling actually, not Nkunku. Nkunku actually gets the pass from Sterling, but he's anyway in pressure mode, and Stuttgart cleared the pass away. Clears from danger, and it's going to be a throw-in here for Chelsea. The pressure is still on for Stuttgart, but can they keep the pressure? Can they try to maintain it or neutralize it? Now here's Nkunku. Still Nkunku. Nkunku finds Jackson. Jackson drives the pass to Sterling. Back to Jackson. Chelsea shoots. And what a goal from Nicholas Jackson. You got to credit a bit of brilliance here from Chelsea. And you deserve to do that celebration after you scored that goal. What a goal from Jackson. Creating a lot of opportunities. Stuttgart We're all under pressure. What a pass here from Jackson. Passed it to Sterling, then back to Jackson. And what a goal from him. Nubel sadly could not save this one. He thought he could be a hero, but a bit of individual brilliance from Chelsea was the reason why they actually got a goal here. And now Stuttgart have to respond. Looks like Wataru Endo has it. Endo finds Furyk. Well, Karazor actually. Karazor collects the ball from Wataru Endo. Now here's Karazor. Still Karazor. Stuttgart already on the attack. He finds Girassi. Girassi shoots. What a cool finish from him, actually. Sorry, I kind of fluffed my lines there. I almost fluffed my lines. But you gotta credit that wonderful finish from him. It was actually a wonderful pass from Karazor. And what a finish from Girassi. Kepa somehow didn't save that one. I don't know how Kepa didn't save this. But you gotta credit that wonderful finish from Girassi. A bit of potential from him. And because of that, Girassi managed to net an equalizing goal for Stuttgart. So right now, the game is still on. Both these sides have been treated with a goal each. But who's going to win this match? We don't know. Now here's Gallagher. 17 minutes to go already. But Chelsea and Stuttgart both playing some good footy. Now here's Gallagher. Finds Nkunku. Nkunku finds Fernandes. Fernandes finds Jackson, who's already free. But what a tackle from Anton. A much needed tackle from him. And as you already saw the pass accuracy, Chelsea this time has a lot of pass accuracy than Stuttgart. Because of obviously that goal actually came from a brilliant pass. But can they do it again? Now here's Enzo. Enzo cuts the pass back to Nkunku. Nkunku finds Jackson. Jackson is away. He shoots. And it's a brace for him. Looks like Chelsea might be actually running away with this. And he actually tries to go to the coach and do some hugging there because he knows that goal was sensational. And a moment of pure class for him. But what a pass here from Nkunku. Jackson with a wonderful finish. Gotta take a look. A bit of brilliance from him. Nubel was caught again. Sadly, he could not replicate like how he did in the first half. And first few minutes in the second half. As he gave 2 goals to Jackson. But can Stuttgart come up with another reply? They already had come up with a good response after that 1 goal from Chelsea. But can they do it again? Now here's Wagnerman. Still Wagnerman. Gets past Ben Chilwell. Still Wagnerman, but what a tackle from Colwell. Colwell manages to amend and avenge Chilwell right there with a wonderful tackle on Wagnerman. And now he tries to find Chilwell. And now Chilwell finds Sterling. Sterling finds Nkunku. 4 minutes to go here. I think Chelsea might actually win this competition. They were the better side over this road to the final scenario here. Now Chelsea might actually finish this one, but what a save from Nubel. And probably a much needed save from him. As we're down to the final minute here. Looks like a substitution will be made. Jackson will not be getting the hat-trick as he's going to be subbed off for Wesley Fofana. But looks like Chelsea have the corner. Ben Chilwell to take it. But Furyk clears this one away. Are they going to get the ball here? Yes, they do. And they still have 2 minutes to go. They need a moment of brilliance here. It's now or never for Stuttgart here. Now Furyk has it. He finds Girassi. But looks like they're passing it back. They know it's over here. And the game is done. With Chelsea being the eventual winners of the Cup Winners' Cup match. Winning against their opponent Stuttgart 2-1. In what was a pretty good contest. Both these sides have made pretty far. But Chelsea were far the better side over Stuttgart. And who else to actually score those vital goals? It was none other than the Senegalese hero, Nicolas Jackson. So it's full time. Chelsea 2, Stuttgart 1. Looks like we're going to take a look at the highlights here. Obviously, that 65th minute goal from Nicolas Jackson with a wonderful pass from Sterling. And then a back pass from him. And then Jackson went for the goal. But Stuttgart did actually reply after 5 minutes of trailing. And it was actually a wonderful pass from Krasnodar and Sergio Girassi with a wonderful finish. Kepa could not save this one. And then for some reason, the 80th minute. Yeah, sometimes it blurs out that goal. But you can actually see it right there. Jackson did actually give that match-winning goal for Chelsea. And that's how Chelsea won that game against Stuttgart. We're going to take a look at the match facts actually. Because, Chelsea had made 5 shots to Stuttgart's 2 shots. Gonna take a look at the shooting here. 5 shots on target. Look at their shot accuracy, 100%. Whereas Stuttgart had 2 shots and 1 shot on target. So, yeah, I mean, Chelsea are the eventual winners of the UEFA Cup Winners' Cup. And this might actually be the prediction. Comment below to see who will win the Cup Winners' Cup final. We don't know if it's actually going to be showing on Trevor Sports. But just to actually show it, just in case if it shows or broadcasts on Trevor Sports, I really wanted to show it to you and show you a good prediction and see what will be the eventual predicted scoreline for this for the actual UEFA Cup Winners' Cup, which will be broadcasted on Trevor Sports. But anyway, I really hope you enjoyed this one. I will be back for our next match. Goodbye.
Hello guys, we're back, and just as we witnessed, Chelsea got their job done over Stuttgart. It was actually a pretty close match, not gonna lie. But Chelsea, they had that guile and they managed to use it to win the match over their rivals Stuttgart, 2-1. And that was actually the predicted scoreline. And yeah. But let's see who will win the actual real match. Well, we're gonna find that out. But first, let's take a look at the highlights, shall we? So basically, first half it had nothing. There was no goals. There were no goals. There were only chances but no goals. However, the deadlock did break thanks to a goal from Nicolas Jackson. However, Sergio Girassi scored the equalizer for Stuttgart. But Jackson did manage to score the winner for Chelsea. And because of this, Chelsea were the winners in that match. But that was just a predicted scoreline. Can they actually win the rewritten Cup Winners' Cup final? Even though Chelsea have won that in real life. And they also won that in the predicted scoreline. That was also the predicted scoreline as well. Can they actually win it? Or can Stuttgart have other plans in their mind to make sure that Chelsea do not win this one? Because now that Trevor Sports have actually rewritten history, Stuttgart might have actually learned from their mistakes in what they've done in real life and maybe try to amend it. Maybe try to make sure that these mistakes won't happen. But anyway, we're going to find that out in Trevor Sports. I can't decide. It's up to him. So anyway, I really hope you enjoyed this one. Please make sure to like and subscribe to my channel as it really means a lot to me. I'm trying to work hard and eventually it'll pay off. So please support me in my journey or at least try to reach 100 subscribers and beyond. So yeah, please make sure to like and subscribe. This is Brisbane 05 Blaster here, signing off.